Hi,
Hey.
everyone.
Hello.
I made
Hello,
it.
everybody. As you know, we are live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Jien in Singapore. That's Ange in Hong Kong, and of course Percy in the Philippines. And how are you guys? Looking mighty fine. Ange, looks like you know something new today. Want to share?
I just rushed back from the hairdressers and I was running so late. I was pressing the lift button rapidly because that always helps the lift come sooner. But I'm glad to say that I'm here, finally.
And looking fabulous.
Thank you.
Fabulous. And to everyone, welcome to Dear Future Grandkids. Now, this is the show where we ask an interesting guest every week the big question. What would they say to their future grandkids? And for all of us, I can't believe this. This is episode 8. What a milestone. Guys, what? This is crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's lucky 8. Imagine back in January when you told us, Jen, that, hey, why don't we work on something together? And we brainstormed this show, Dear Future Grandkids. We said, look, let's just make 8 episodes, no matter what, even if no one is watching. And I think, we had a few more people to no one. There's some people out there watching. Anyway, look, we're here. We're episode 8 episodes in.
It's really hard to believe because it really seemed like no time at all we had that call. And we just sort of made up this number. Let's try 8. We'll see how it goes. Like no pressure on ourselves. So thank you both. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to our guests who've taken part. You've brought so much heart to my Saturday mornings. And thank you so much to our viewers too, because as Percy says, we have picked up a few viewers along the way. We really appreciate it. So thank you for joining us for this wonderful ride. So let's introduce today's guest. As he himself has said, as an international model, he's put his hand in his pocket and stared out into the middle distance in more catalogs than he cares to admit. He's featured more than once on the cover of Men's Health. Is it me or did it get hot in here? He's a writer. From dramatic fiction to witty wordsmith, he's been a columnist, a blogger, and a published novelist. And TV viewers in Singapore will know him as one of the stars of the long-running daily soap Kin. And I know him personally as one of the easiest actors and presenters to work with. He's no ego or work ethic, always polite, super gracious. Could he be any more Canadian? Please welcome Jason Godfrey.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I saw you guys do it. I saw you guys kind of come in, so I thought I'm going to come in.
Yeah, but that was a slide. You did a slide.
We do it cooler, though.
Yeah. Oh, I could have done a turnaround.
Oh, there you go.
Jason, thanks for having me.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I could have done that. Yeah. Next time.
There was something very James Bond in that, I think. And isn't Daniel Craig finishing up his... Yeah, Daniel Craig's finishing up his run, so...
Yeah. Is that a big announcement soon, Jason? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I announced that I am not going to be James Bond because nobody wants me to do it. I'll have an official announcement on my Twitter page.
An exclusive. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Zero consideration, they decided not to use me for James Bond.
We can do a few intros, Jason. We can do a few of those throughout the show.
Yeah, that's true.
Different things.
Hey, Jason, we can have some options. Yep.
Have you imagined yourself as a grandfather?
Oh, now you freaked me out.
Okay, so we did.
Oh no! Look at it. That's Grandpa Jay.
Oh wow!
Look at that. Good. You aged myself. I think I could. I'm in the market for some old man diaper campaigns. Oh no! Now you aged. I wish I could grow that beard. That's like old man Logan. Oh wow! Look at that. This
Yeah, the claws are gonna go out.
I like how you aged the face, but the stomach did not.
Yeah, you still got the abs at 70 years old.
Got the abs.
Because the abs are already not there, and I'm only 43. So. Wow. So okay, I didn't really think of myself as a grandfather, but now when I think of myself, I know how sexy it's gonna be. So no, I think if I'm a grandfather, I wish I would look like that. No, no, I didn't really think about it because I actually my child we just had our first kid this year, and I'm quite old, so I feel like you do the math on it. I'm gonna be I would have to be like 115 years old when he has kids. If he waits to have kids to like at my age, right? I'm going to be like 86. So I didn't actually picture it. I'm just trying to get through raising the first one. So I didn't think about the grandkids thing, but yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome to have grandkids. And I hope the beard does come.
And the six-pack.
And the six pack.
And the six-pack. And then I'll have a resurgence in my modeling career. Yeah.
For adult diapers, yeah.
Oh, yes.
I didn't say
the
that.
diaper campaign. That's what I was thinking, actually.
Yeah, that's a market there with six-pack abs at the age of 70.
Exactly. Oh, if you got abs at the age of 70, you're regular.
Hi, Jason. Welcome to the show. And of course, we'll give you a lot of time to reflect and think about being a grandfather. But for now, we want to find out a lot more about you. And we always start off with some quick fire questions. So at this current, your state of mind at the moment, in 3 words, describe it.
State of mind?
Yeah.
Yes, 3 words. Woo! Okay. In 3 words, describe your current mind. I'm currently frazzled, fatigued, but happy.
Oh, thank goodness you didn't say the third F word.
But that's my current state of mind, like in this moment right now. In this moment right now.
So we know you're Canadian, but where were you born?
Canada. So I was born in Toronto, Etobicoke actually, which is just outside of Toronto. It's like the first suburb outside of Toronto, which has actually kind of now just been encompassed into the city.
Are you like third generation? Are you third generation Canadian? Or?
I think on my father's side, yeah, I think my great grandfather came from Britain on my dad's side, but my mother is she came over from the Philippines, and in the 70s, right? So I don't know how that works. Do you average out the generation? So
your mom was actually born in the Philippines. And
she was born in Manila, in Quezon City, in the scout area.
Hey, that's where our office is. Scout.
Is it? Yeah. I went back there to take a picture of her, where she grew up, and she said she didn't recognize anything. Like everything had changed quite a lot.
Yeah, everything is shops there now.
Yeah. So, but I found the exact intersection where she had grown up. So I took a photo there, and then.
Oh, nice.
That's kind of interesting to think that my mother would have been running around out here. Yeah.
It might just be outside our office.
I could have just asked you to take a photo for me.
Yeah,
save me some time.
It is.
I went on this long journey. Perci, you take a photo? Thanks, dude.
Jason, you were born in Canada, near Toronto. Is that where you grew up as well?
Yeah, so I grew up in Brampton, Ontario, which is, again, it's like a little further up from Toronto, so it's a suburb. And I didn't realize it, but I guess Brampton's got a bit of a sort of a bad reputation for being kind of like crime ridden and sort of like this kind of, it's not a good place, I guess, is the rep it has. So it's I didn't know that. I guess it's changed since I left. I mean, I don't know, or maybe it was always like that and I didn't notice.
So you left and the crime rate went down.
I'm not saying I'm Batman, but I'm Batman.
I knew it.
You knew personally. I think it's the Filipino Jien. You know the jokes that I'm going at.
Yeah,
I was going to say the diaper joke earlier too, and I just didn't get around to it.
I see the connection there now. It's the Scouts. I tell you, it's the Scouts.
Yeah.
Hey, so Jason, what was the first job you remember wanting when you were a kid?
The first job I remember wanting, actually, I remember wanting to be an actor when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah. I think I just liked. I liked improv a lot. I liked being silly and making people laugh. So it wasn't like I was dreaming of being a dramatic actor, but I think I wanted to. I guess we wanted to be an entertainer. I guess I wanted to act in comedy. And I remember one of the very, very early things I did. I don't even know where this came from. I wrote this comedy kind of show for like this grade 2 or grade 3. I don't know what grade it was, 4 maybe. And I wrote this like little comedy skit and casted my friends in it and we did it. And it was this huge hit. Not because it was good. It was just I dressed up the boys like girls. So that was like brilliant comedy back in grade 4.
That's your British side.
Oh, the guys are dressed as it's it. Yeah, that is the British
It's
side.
a very British thing to do.
Nothing funnier than dressing a man up as a woman.
That's right. It's the highest art of comedy.
Yeah,
Shakespeare.
So
Yeah, I think it was the first job I wanted. I think.
so you're always a performer in the family, I guess. If it's like that, you always performed family reunions and all of that.
Not really.
Oh, you're not really.
Not really. No, not really. I mean, I guess I was with my parents, but I was also painfully shy. So I had these two things that I had to, I don't know, kind of competed against each other. So that's also why you asked me what my earliest thing, what I wanted to do. I could say acting, but it didn't last. I think as I got older, I kind of didn't. I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I have the guts to do that. And then I started playing baseball. So I wanted to play baseball, obviously.
No.
Yeah. But then I wasn't good enough. So then.
Nah, sure you were good. But what was your actual first job?
My actual first job? I'm glad you asked about that. I was a janitor, actually. I was actually, my official designation was facility operator, which I enjoy more. But I was a janitor. Yeah.
That's like vice president of hygiene services.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, executive assistant of hygiene services. Yeah, I was definitely a janitor.
How old were you
At that
then?
point, I was 16, I guess. My first. Well, I mean, I had a paper route when I was younger, but that's whatever. But that was my first official job, like having a boss and coming into work and then cleaning up the poop splat. And I remember that was when it got good because it was a community center, so there used to be parties and stuff there. So it wasn't actually that bad. It was a community center usually for girls' dance classes, so girls tend to be pretty clean. So thank God. But they would have these parties there, and I remember coming in after I'd worked there for a year or so, and I kind of had seniority, and there was a new guy, and I scouted around after the New Year's party, and there was a poop splat in one of the toilets, and the new guy was like, "Oh, there's a lot of stuff to clean downstairs." And I said, "I'll take that. You just take the upstairs. Upstairs is where the poop splat was." And he's like, "Oh, thanks, man. Thanks." And I was like, "No, thank you." and I saw him like an hour later. His face was white, and I know that he had tackled the poop splat.
Situation.
So delegate.
Yeah, I was like, don't worry, dude. I'll take everything. You just
Delegation 101.
Yeah.
That's too funny. Do you have any strange habits or rituals that you care to share that I'm too actually frightened to hear, having heard this already?
Strange habits. I set fire to kittens. No, I don't. That's what I would do that. Strange habits? I don't think so. I don't think I have any strange habits. I think the thing about strange habits and rituals is that you don't think they're strange until someone sees you doing them and they're like, "Dude, you're strange. Why are you doing that?" But I don't think I have any strange habits or rituals.
So some people are really superstitious. Baseball
Right.
players, sports players are really
don't change their socks when they're in a hitting
if
streak.
they're on a streak. And acting
Right.
as well. I've seen people with really strange rituals and habits when it comes to acting, like just before they go
Right.
on. And you don't
Right,
have
right.
anything? You don't have anything like anything that you do?
I normally, before every scene, I normally drop down and do as many clap push-ups as I can while screaming as loudly as possible and then I tell the director, when I hold my hand up, then I'm ready to start the scene. But I don't think that's a strange ritual. I think that's just, I don't do that.
So that's
When I hold my finger up like this, I am in character. No, I don't.
Imagine you on location.
Yeah. I don't
This is the trouble.
I saw a guy do that for an audition one time. That's why I say that.
This is the thing about Jason. He is so sarcastic in that kind of dry North American. I can never tell whether you're joking or not, and that's the scariest thing.
Did you really? Would it freak you out if I actually did push-ups? That's how you know I'm lying. Because you worked with me. I didn't do any clap push-ups in front of you.
No, you didn't. And
Not that you saw. Ange's in the toilet.
No, I honestly, you are one of the most laid back people to work with. You're super easygoing. And I wonder how much of that is to say a cliche, it's your Filipino and your Canadian side combined together, or how much is it you've just decided this is the best way to get along, to be professional. You were a model for a long time, so because you really are super, super laid back about everything. Everything's like, okay, sure, yeah, I'll do that, no problem, sure.
Put me in a tutu, dress me in a mermaid costume. All right,
yeah,
let's go do this. No, I don't think it's like a conscious effort to like. I think it's just my upbringing, I suppose. Which I guess I'm lucky my parents, I guess, raised me the way I did, because I think that's been the one thing that has kept me going, because I haven't been too great at everything. But I think it's when you're easy to work with, people will hire you again, right? So it's not like a deliberate or conscious choice. It just happens to be like that for me, I guess. So I'm just lucky. I'm lucky that I feel laid back. Because I see other people get like bent out of shape about stuff, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Just wear the mermaid costume and do whatever you need you to do. It's fine.
Yeah. What's with the press ups, dude? Just turn up and act, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're not gonna really see your breasts that much. You don't need to do the press ups.
I mean, no, it's true. It's true, because likability, like pure likability in any job, is so underrated from people. Like someone who's just a good person who'll turn up, do what they need to do, is so underrated. And that is whether you're acting or any kind of job whatsoever. You can be below average competence if you're super likable. And I'm not saying that because you're but it's so true.
I feel like this is directed at me. Below average but likable, Jason Godfrey is here.
In his mermaid outfit.
The only one who'd wear the mermaid costume. Dignity is no problem for Jason.
That's right. He has to look that up in the dictionary because he has no idea what it means.
What's dignity, Ange?
Tell us a subject you know surprisingly a lot about.
I don't know any subject. I don't know. I don't know. Oh wow. I don't know if I'd say Jesus. I don't know anything about anything. You know the Dunning-Kruger effect? You guys heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect?
No, go on, tell us.
So the Dunning-Kruger effect is like the less you know about something. So basically, as your knowledge increases, so basically this scale is your confidence, and this is knowledge increasing. And apparently, the less knowledge you have, the higher your confidence is that you know the subject. And then as you know more, your confidence actually goes down, and you start to realize, wow, I don't really know anything about this subject. And then as you get further along, you know more, then your confidence rises again, but your confidence is never as high as it was at the start. So it's basically like you if anybody really says that they know something, they really know about a subject, maybe they're just at the start of their journey and they don't know how much they don't know. So that's where my mind immediately goes when you ask me, like, what do I know about? And I'm like, oh no, I don't.
So
or maybe I know. Maybe that means I know a lot about everything because I'm so uncertain. That's what I'd like to think, but I don't think that's true. I don't know what I know. Surprisingly.
Well, you know a lot about the Dunning-Kruger effect, so you know a lot about not knowing much versus confidence.
I read one whole article about it.
That makes you
Dunning-Kruger expert.
All-time high.
So this is confidence really high.
Yeah,
that's right. That's why my confidence is really high now.
Yeah.
Sure. Because I read one article.
You Googled it yesterday. You Googled it yesterday, so it's really high now.
Yeah.
There's also something called the Peter Principle, I think it's called, in management. And the Peter Principle is you get promoted to your level of incompetence. So for example, you're hired to be an IT programmer and you're a programmer, but you're really, really rubbish at it. So they'll just promote you to management because you can't IT program. You can't do any programming. So you get promoted to head of programming. Yeah, I think that's called the Peter Principle. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I've read about that too, and I never really understood it. Like I don't really understand. Why don't you just get fired?
Have you ever watched any episodes of The Office? Nothing works that way.
No, I actually never have. It looks funny though. I think I would enjoy it, but I haven't watched it.
It's like real life, honestly. The Office.
So I've never worked in an office either. So like I don't.
The American and British version, it's so uncanny because my sister actually worked it very close to Slough, which is where the British office is set. And I went to visit her, and it is an episode of The Office right there. The Office isn't comedy. The Office is true life, completely. Really is.
Yeah. That's why it's funny, because it plays straight, right? Everyone just acts it like you just really want what you want. It might be ridiculous, but you're going for it. Yeah. I think it's funny. I just haven't had time to watch it, but yeah. I want to watch it.
It's a great show.
You've got to watch that, and in our show as well. We have laughs. We have laughs sometimes, but of course, also our show has a lot of heart. But what we like here is also, Jason, we like a little bit of humiliation. That's what we really want. Like, on the Saturday morning is the perfect time. So if you could share with us, pick up your computer and head to a corner of your house that you're really sad about, that you want to hide, and it's a place where you go, I don't want anyone to see this. Could you please share with us a corner that you're really embarrassed about? I'm sure you have one, right?
Okay.
That was quick.
I'm just thinking about how much my wife is going to kill me if I do this. Okay, we do this. I know where to go. I know where to go. My boy is sleeping.
The embarrassing corner. And Jason,
your boy sleeping?
My boy is sleeping.
Oh my goodness.
My little redheaded boy, for some reason. I don't understand how the genes combine to make a redheaded child.
Ooh.
All right, is it going?
Nice apartment.
Yeah.
Sippy cup. But that's not the embarrassing part. That's not the embarrassing.
That's your drinking cup, right?
Okay, here we go.
All right. I'm excited.
Actually, it's not looking bad today. The storage room's looking okay.
Oh, this is your storage room.
Yeah, that's probably the room that nobody really wants to see.
Oh, it looks very baby.
Yeah,
like diaper.
Yeah, it's very neat, and it's very
very neat.
Well, these aren't his diapers. They're mine. Because when accidents happen, they can happen at any age, and I'm okay wearing Pampers, 54 large.
Long days on the set, right?
Did I get the endorsement?
Yeah.
When I'm on set, I don't have time to leave and use the toilet, so I wear Pampers 54. Yeah, there we go. It's actually not so bad.
What's on that shelf on top of the what's on the shelf on top of the diaper? It's all colored boxes.
Here? Oh, that's actually a Hong Kong company. I'm doing a plug. This sounds like it's a total plug. It's masks. They're masks. N95 regulator masks from Kazi.
Oh, they're masks.
My wife actually works. She's works with business development for them. So we have a bunch of samples here.
Oh,
they look cool. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Now. Yeah. Oh, it's actually the boxes look really cool. Yeah. But I won't go full ad endorsement and pull out the mask. But and then there's the grate from the windows.
There?
It's not really terribly embarrassing.
It's pretty neat. I would say
Very
it's
neat.
pretty neat.
Very, very neat. Very neat. All organized.
You know what I think happened?
What?
I think I mentioned to my wife this morning. I forgot to tell her. I mentioned to her that I might have to show the supply room. I think she gave anything.
She tidied up. Oh my goodness.
She tidied up.
Visitors.
Yeah. My
okay, these are
kind
kind
of
of
embarrass me.
This is homemade artwork of our dog that we hang in the laundry room because it doesn't deserve to be anywhere else. this is him as Santa Poodle, and then I did dog pool.
You did that?
I love dog pool.
I did dog pool.
Dog pool's nice.
Really?
I didn't do these ones. These are actually good. These are good. Actually, maybe that's more embarrassing that you would paint stuff of your dog. I guess it's kind of pathetic.
Your dog's name is Dog Pool?
No, its name is Grizz.
Oh.
Short for Grizzly.
Oh, like Deadpool, Dog Pool.
Yeah. Oh, Ange, really?
Got it.
Fly?
I'm gonna take some more coffee with me into the room.
Finally caught up with the train, huh?
Oh my!
I'm just jealous, coming from Hong Kong. I'm just jealous you actually have a storeroom because
I know
that's the size
you
of
got
my
a yard
apartment.
and everything. Like,
oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
Singapore. When we first moved to Singapore, my God, I felt like I felt like we had like won the lottery.
Like,
Suddenly we had like, because in Hong Kong, you know how it is. It's so small,
yeah.
and you pay big place prices for small rooms.
Yeah.
And so when we first got here, and I had like, it's the first time in 9 years that I had a dining room table. I was like, oh, dining room table.
Fancy.
And then I could exit. Yeah, I was like, I could have people over for dinner, and then you could exit my bed on 3 sides, not just climbing over the other person.
Yep.
I was like,
Yeah.
wow, I've made it. I've done it. Success.
Jason, you have a clock with antlers on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
You want to
too.
see it?
What the hell?
It's actually broken. It's actually broken.
That's
We
a
didn't.
clock. You tell me you didn't go to a shop and go, you know what I really need, this apartment really needs, is a clock with antlers on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
What's up with that?
Oh, there's my dog. My dog just arrived. Hey, buddy.
Turkey. That
The
has to
clock
be one of the ugliest clocks I have ever seen in my whole life.
Well,
Okay, that's
What's the
Ange.
story
That's
about that
Ange's
clock?
opinion.
Something.
I actually don't mind it. I think it's okay. So let me just let my dog out of this room before you. Come on,
Sure.
go. Get out of here. Get out of here. You didn't want to come in here with me.
See,
It's
The
a
dog
clock.
doesn't want to. He doesn't
For
want to be
those
with
of you
me.
listening to the podcast, that was a
Yeah.
clock. So for those of you on the podcast who can't see it, who can't see the interior design that is a clock with antlers on it, it is exactly how I'm describing it, podcast
Yeah.
listeners.
Yeah, I actually like it. I think it's kind of cool, but it's my wife's job.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Because her whole idea was because the apartment has a lot of wood in it and your kind of wood features, so she wanted to make it kind of like a lodge, kind of like this lodge feel.
Ah, right.
So that's the logic behind it. So
It
there,
is
see, I showed you.
very homey. There you go.
So yeah, there
Jen,
you
you
go.
like the clock, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. So
I actually like it. I actually like
2
it.
out of 3 hosts actually like the clock.
when she's brought it home, I was like, yeah, let's do that. Let's put that clock up. I'm happy with it.
This has been the best tour ever. I can tell you.
Interesting. Yeah, it's true. I took you to where I thought was the most embarrassing place, and then Ange said, no. That is the most embarrassing.
We'll be the judge of that. We'll be the judge of what's embarrassing.
No. That stuff is embarrassing. That is
Okay, from something embarrassing, we go to something meaningful. Look at that. This show has so many layers. Yeah.
Yes.
So Jason, you've come to this part of the show, and this is actually quite serious. We've come to this part of the show where we ask our guests to leave a meaningful voice message to someone special in your life. I don't know how you're gonna take me seriously when I'm saying this anymore.
Yeah.
So we do need you to grab your phone, leave a message
phone.
to that someone. Yeah.
Okay. Let me get my phone.
Yep. It can be a message about the clock. It can be a message about
Okay,
the
so
clock.
what do I? What's the message? I'm leaving a message. So is this
A
the message
voicemail.
to my grandkid?
Boy, yeah,
No, what's your grandkid?
No.
To anybody
anyone-
special in your life, anybody that's special on your phone list.
Anyone special on my phone list, like my wife or something.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
don't
you
tell
don't have to
people.
tell us who.
You don't have to
just
tell
like
us.
to-
anything.
We just like to eavesdrop.
Just-
we just like
just
to
leave
eavesdrop.
What are the
voice.
rules of this game? Okay, so I don't tell you who, but I just start leaving the message in front of you.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
Very
But it's a
natural.
message that I have to send. It's a message that I would
Yes.
have to send.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like, "Hi, baby, it's me." The laundry. has
Ange
been
doesn't
moved.
like your clock.
Ange didn't like the clock. Okay, let me think. Something that has to be said. Okay. I guess my wife. Leave a voice message.
What about your
You wanna
boss?
hear-
What about your
You wanna
boss?
hear-
What about your boss at Kin?
My-
What about
My boss.
your director,
Ange.
your boss, your
I don't know
co-star?
how it works with you, but directors and co-stars are not my boss. I'm the boss of myself. No, I mean,
Here's a message
yeah.
to myself.
Okay. Theoretical voice message to my boss at Ken. I could do that. You want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
You'd have to send it, You do have to send
Well, I
it.
have to send it.
Yeah.
It's not theoretical.
So I really have to send it to my
It's
producer?
legit. Yeah.
Do I really have to send it? But do you want to hear the response? Is that why?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
about
just-
humiliation, as we said.
If I do it to my producer, he's gonna be like, "What? Are you drunk? What's wrong with you?"
Saturday morning. What are you drinking?
Yeah, he's like, "What are you doing?" Okay.
He'll be like, Jason, after the break, maybe you don't need to come in.
Jason,
I'm just gonna get. Okay,
Jason, I think
I'll
we've
send
got an elevator shaft on the soap, right?
that won't even happen. They'll just, it'll just happen. I'll just read it and be like, oh my God, James fell down an elevator shaft. But people will just be saying it. They won't shoot me falling down. It'll just happen. Like, Jason, we don't need you to come in. I don't even need to shoot the elevator shaft death scene. No, just it'll happen off screen.
You don't even
His
want my
helicopter
scream?
went down.
You don't even
His
need a
helicopter
scream?
went down.
I come in for a scream?
Oh, okay, Jason, try your scream. And I do it. They'll be like, yeah, no, don't do that. No. It's okay. We'll ADR it. We'll
ADR it.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. I'll send him a message. This is going to be awkward.
Good.
Okay. Hey, Guoshan. It's Jason. Just Saturday morning, leaving you a message. I just wanted to say thanks for having me on the show, having me on Ken. I've actually really enjoyed it, and I've learned a ton from being on the show. As a writer and acting wise, I've learned so much. And at the end of the day, it's an opportunity that I'm really happy that I've had, and so I just thank you for giving me the opportunity and letting me be part of it. I know this is a really weird message to suddenly randomly get, but yeah, I've just felt like it's something that should be said. So, okay, all right, man. I'll talk to you. Talk to you later.
He's gonna go.
You
What?
are so awkward.
That's gonna make it
so
really strange next time I see him.
He's gonna go.
This is weird.
What's the point of all this? What is the point of all
I
this?
hope he's watching this. I hope he's watching this right now. That'd be the best thing if he's watching it right now. Like, why is this? What's this thing Jason's doing? And now I've included him in this thing.
I love
Jason,
the fact.
is that Goshen, right? Goshen.
Yeah, Guoshan, yeah.
Yeah, I worked with him more than 10 years ago.
Yeah. Guoshan's he's been all over, Singapore
Lovely
doing
guy, really
TV
lovely
for
guy.
yeah. They just did a film that got nominated in Taiwan, right? The what was it? It sounded really funny actually. I didn't watch it, but it was like a guy loses his job and ends up becoming like a trans, like a cross-dressing dancer, just to make money. It was a pretty good premise. But yeah, it did well. So yeah, that's who I just sent the message to. Thank you, Ange.
I love
Jason,
the fact
if
we
you get-
asked it to be really meaningful, and
Mhm.
this is as meaningful as we can get Jason Godfrey to be, because it was so awkward. And then at the end, you had to go, "Hey, man, yeah, bro, yeah, man, yeah, dude, man." You had to like man bro it up at the end.
I thought I didn't man it up enough. I could have done more. I mean, I could have done like, "Hey, bro, just wanted to say like thanks for having me on the show, man.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot, bro. Anyway, just meet up for beers, okay? Okay, later."
You did this when you're saying that.
Yeah,
Love
and
you, man.
I tap myself, but
Love you, man.
I'm hitting my chest. I'm hitting my chest right now.
Leave my chest.
Okay, good deal. Okay.
Well, we've certainly got it all on the show today. We're building momentum as well. But Jason, right, from showing us your corner of shame, now you've left a meaningful message. Now we want you to get up once again, and we're going to give you 30 seconds to pick 2 items that are meaningful to you from your travels or from your work. All right, Jason, do you accept?
Wait, while I'm thinking, does it count to my 30 seconds? 'Cause I'm looking.
And your time starts now.
Okay. Oh, okay. Let's find the thing that I can do.
I'm actually crying with laughter. Can you see?
Okay,
I'm
I got
actually
it.
crying with laughter. I'm like weeping, open tears of laughter. It's so funny. If he brings back that darn clock, I'm out
I
of here.
think it is
Okay?
going to be the clock. It is going to
Oh,
be the
I
clock.
should have brought the
Oh,
clock.
did you hear
I should have
that?
brought the clock. I didn't think of it because you know what?
I
It's really hard
forgot
to
you
hang the
still had
antler
your
clock.
headphones in. I forgot you were still listening.
So you're talking behind my back. You're talking behind my back while I'm on your show.
Off screen.
While we're live. While we're on
What is up
Facebook
with
Live.
that? Okay, I got it. I got the stuff.
All right. 2 items. The
Yeah,
first one.
it's
What
not
is
the
it?
clock.
What
Okay,
have you
first one
got?
is my wedding ring.
Oh,
I wasn't
nice.
actually wearing it. I wasn't actually wearing it because the baby guy's up. I wasn't actually wearing it because when I'm on set, I can't wear it anyway. So I feel
Right.
like I don't want to bring it on set and just leave it around. So I've actually got in the habit of not wearing it. And also because I'm married to a cheating TV wife. I have to wear her ring instead for my cheating TV wife. So that's one.
Oh. And you got
I think
married. Where
my
did you
boy's
get
hitting
married?
me.
Where did you get married, Jason? You didn't get married in Asia, did you?
Oh, yeah. We got married. Well, we signed the papers in Hong Kong, and then we had the. Hey, buddy.
Calling you.
Hold on. Let me just grab my.
Sure,
guy.
sure.
Yeah.
Come here, buddy guy. Oh, hello, baby guy. You want to see? This is the other thing I brought. This isn't the other thing I brought, but
This is the second
come here,
item.
buddy.
Perfect. Second.
Oh,
Hey, Buggy.
that's so
Oh,
cute.
people. He's like, who are these guys? What are
Yeah.
they doing? Does he look like me?
No, he doesn't look anything like you.
He's trying to high five you guys.
Oh,
High five. High fives, Will.
Hey, buddy.
Oh.
He's like, what are these people doing?
Does he have words? Can he speak?
Does he have words?
Yeah.
He doesn't have words. No, he can't. He just says ta ta. You trying to high
Oh,
five?
oh, in that way, he resembles you then.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he's got in common with you.
He doesn't say much. He just makes noises. There you go, buddy.
Oh.
Okay. Oh no, now he's doing his jujitsu. Thanks, baby. Oh, what?
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello, you.
Hi there.
This is my hour. My hour.
I love this. That's perfect timing. This is perfect timing.
Yeah. I heard him going. He's walking around going ta 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 ta, which is Romanian for daddy. But I like to think he's saying daddy. He's probably just like pa pa. He's just making noise. I don't know. But yeah. So I was like, I gotta go.
So he's half Romanian?
Yeah, my wife is Romanian.
And that's
I
where
don't know,
you had a ceremony in Romania.
Yeah. Yes, that's where I was going with that story. So we got married and we signed papers in Hong Kong, and then we went over to Romania and got married. Had the party and the ceremony. She's from a small town, like really, like it's like going back in time. It's like there's horse carriages, like that's how they get like wood around and stuff. It's like, yeah, her home is still heated by wood fire. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
Yeah. Her where she's from, like her mother like pickles all the vegetables and like smokes the meats. Like honestly, if there's like a zombie apocalypse, they are the only people who would be able to provide for themselves. The rest of us would be eating like dry mac and cheese and trying to make it from like, the stuff in the supermarkets. But like her mother would just be like, I kill more chicken and pickle and onion, and then she'd be fine. So life wouldn't change for them.
Oh man, that's such a cool.
It's
Wow,
crazy.
your kid's gonna have such a great heritage, right? Perfect combination of so many things.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah,
If international travel comes back.
Yeah, true. True, that's really cool. And we know, talking about family, we know you write a regular column for the Star newspaper in Singapore called
That's in Malaysia, KL.
in Malaysia,
Yeah.
called Big Eyes, No Teeth.
Yeah.
And
Big eyes, zero ears.
Big Eyes, Zero Ears.
Big
And,
smile, no teeth.
Big smile, no teeth.
Like this.
Yeah, that's how my mum told me to take every photo when I was a kid.
Big eyes, no teeth would be this.
That's my school photo. That's all my photos
Is
are
it?
like that. Yeah. And you wrote this really nice bit in your column. You said when you had your kid, you said these are strange times, the pandemic, the impending collapse of the economy. Should we have brought a child into this hard world, is what you wrote. And then you replied to your own question, and you said the world has always been hard. And like every parent, I knew the first time my child smiled at me that the answer was a resounding yes. That was very sweet of you.
Wow. It doesn't sound like my words coming from Ange. It sounds like something written well. I have no recollection of writing that, actually. The pandemic, I think when I wrote that was the pandemic, and we were in lockdown, we were in circuit breaker. And I think the circuit breaker was I think any lockdown, once you get a couple months into it, and then combining that with being a dad for the first time and having a newborn, first 3 months it's not like a gift. It's like the worst time ever. And then like, I think combining that with lockdown and all that stress, I know that after a while, the days were bleeding into each other and just becoming kind of like, we were just on baby's time, right? Like, no idea what was going on. We couldn't leave the house. So I guess I wrote that. It's probably in a weird space. I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, I remember it was hard. It was rough. It was rough to you're just not sleeping. You know what I mean? You got all this uncertainty and stuff. So yeah, I guess that's when I wrote that. But yeah, I'm glad you found that. I'm glad you found that, and not some of the other stuff.
I like your blog. I like your column.
Okay.
Yeah, you write well. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Mostly I rant about politics and economic injustice.
Yeah, and climate change is really good.
Yeah.
It's good, but you do it with that witty, dry sense of humor of yours. So
I hope I do. Sometimes I feel like I'm just ranting.
Oh, I like it. It's a good read.
I'm just getting bitter. But, yeah. It's strange. It's strange the feelings you have as a new father, I think. As a new parent, I think. So
more philosophical, you mean? More philosophical about life. Does everything become a Hallmark card?
No, I think it's like no one prepares. I think it's different for mothers. I think mothers they get attached pretty quickly. I think men, because I was always like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, and like, I'm gonna love my kid instantly. But when the baby comes out, you're like, I should love this kid instantly. But really, all the kid is like a screaming bag of meat at this point. and it's hard. It's hard to connect. Like I found it very, very difficult. Now, obviously not. And I don't know if it's like a selfish thing. Maybe I have, or maybe just fathers have in general. I think they like interactivity. So as soon as the baby starts to interact a little more, I think it melts you a little more. But at the beginning, it's like you're doing everything, but you're like, man, what have I unleashed with my groin?
Yeah. No, but I can relate to that, Jason. You know what it's like. I totally understand, because the baby, you take care of the baby and you've got sleepless nights, you're changing diapers, and all you're thinking is, where's the fun stuff? Where's the part where I get to play with Legos legitimately? Right?
Yeah. Especially at the beginning, because at the beginning there's none of that. It's just sleepless nights. Like, changing diapers, trying to get this kid to sleep, that he doesn't want to sleep even though he should sleep, and you're just like, what is happening? What happened? But I think it's something that people don't talk about too much. Everybody just kind of puts on it's the greatest thing that's ever happened cliche, which it is. At the end of the day, it is long term. But I think in the first moments when it's happening, there is a moment, especially combined with the pandemic, where I was like, oh my goodness, is this life now? Like, what is this?
It's always better when we look back. Better when we look back at it, right? When it's happening, while it's happening, it's like the worst experience ever. But a day or two later, that's
what I realized, right? Parenthood is because when we're like, how do people have more children? It's because all those times get wiped out of your memory because the good times overshadow them. But like, same with my wife in pregnancy. Like, pregnancy at the end, she was like, I just want this. Just my body is hijacked. We just need the baby to come out. Like, what's happening? But now when she looks back at the pregnancy, we look back at it fondly. And it's like that's something that I think humans are programmed to do, is you forget about all this negative stuff, and then you have one kid, and then you're like, okay, let's crank out another one. I don't have multiple kids, so I don't know if you get to the second one and you go, what did we do again? Why? Why are we doing this? But maybe you're a little more prepared for it the second time. I don't know. But like, definitely, you're right. Like you don't really remember how bad it was in the moment.
Yeah, it all gets.
But I think that's also like a survival thing. Yeah,
I think so.
You just start focusing on like the happy stuff. How cute the baby was, and yeah. And I can see it now too, because as he's getting older too, I realize I'm gonna miss the baby version of him, where his arms are too short to even reach the top of his head, and he's running around like, you know what I mean? Like I will miss baby Will. My boy's name is Will. And then I could see how you could be like at 3 years old, be like, let's crank out another one, get another little baby running around the house. I could see that now. Yeah.
And you were only child growing up, right? Weren't you? Tell us a bit about growing up and your parents.
Yeah, and I was an only child.
We have a cute. Look at you.
Yeah.
Look how cute.
I was 27 in this photo with my mother. I look like poor man's Will Wheaton.
You do.
I think I was like 13 or something, 14 in that photo. I don't know. Yeah, 14.
And how were you brought up? How were you brought up?
In abject poverty. My mother used to beat me. No, that's not. I think I had a pretty normal, middle class upbringing in Canada. We never were starving or anything like that, but we didn't go on vacations or anything. It wasn't like, it was just like that middle ground. It was fine. Being an only child, my parents, they tried to have more kids after me, but it just didn't work out. I wish I wasn't an only child. I wish I had siblings, because I see other people who have siblings. I think when you're growing up, when you're a kid and you're young and stupid and selfish, it's great to be an only child, because you're like, I'm not arguing with anyone. I do whatever I want. But I think when you get older, you realize that, like, having somebody who has that shared experience of growing up in your home, I think that's something that you can't trade. Like my wife has a sister, so when they talk, I hear them. They're like, oh, but Dad always used to do this. Like they know exactly what they're talking about. So I mean, I think that's something that's more valuable than growing up being a selfish little prick when you're young. I do whatever I want. I don't have a sister to nag me. So.
But now you have your own beautiful family. We briefly met your wife, Serena, just now, and then your lovely son, Will. I mean, how's it different for you now, having your own family?
I guess it's there they are.
Really looks like her, I have to say.
Oh, that's Romania, right? This photo.
Yeah, that's Romania. Yeah.
It's stunning.
Beautiful.
That's the castle. Beautiful. No, it's not. That's the place that her hometown is named after, Ministeria Omerului. So that's the monastery. So that place is like, I don't know, 200 years or 300 years old, something stupid. Like, actually, I think it's a little older. I think it's like 800 years old.
Wow.
Like it's insanely old. Yeah. But yeah, how's it changed? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it hasn't changed anything. Like I'd like to have another kid, especially for Will's sake. I'd like to have I'd like him to have a sibling, for Will's sake. For Jason's financial well-being, I would like to have one kid and start working him immediately so he can pay for it. I think that's I love Singapore. I like it here a lot, but it is an expensive place. So I think that's the challenge. It's like, we have one kid, you can kind of do it, but then you start having like 2 kids, you start going, oh my gosh, and then 3 kids, like there's no way. So I think it's kind of sad on that level where you're we talked about family and all, how that's so great and everything, and then you're like realize really how constrained you are financially, because you're like, you can't make these life decisions because they're gonna really, really cramp you financially, and you won't be able to. It's just going to make it a lot more stressful, make it more difficult. But that being said, Canada exists. It's easier to live there. You go to Canada and just crank some children, or I could just start pimping Will out. Daddy could be doing adult diaper ads, and Will could be doing baby diaper ads, and combined,
Perfect. Yeah.
one more kid. Pay for that kid right there.
So you have a father and son talk, and you say, "You want a brother?" We both work for it.
Yeah, exactly. You want a brother? Yay! And you gotta start working, boy.
Yeah, we both have to work for it, boy.
Yeah,
You
dudes.
got two choices. You get a job or you move out. Whatever. You pick one. I'm 3. Excuses are like heinous. Everybody got one, Will.
We could just watch a Jason one-man show here. Right?
You just ask me one question and say, keep talking for an hour. I could probably quit.
No, but Jason, because we're talking about future grandkids, right? How would you talk about your family to them? What's the most important thing you'd tell your future grandkids about your family?
About my family, I don't know if what I would tell my future grandkids would be about my family. I think the best thing I would tell my future grandkids would just be like, I read this in a magazine one time. It was like a country singer said it, but I was like, wow, that makes sense. I think it was Toby Keith, but he said just treat everyone like they're trying their best. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I think that's because I think there's very few people you meet in life that are, you meet people at bad times and they may be jerks to you or whatever, but there's few people that actually want to be jerks. There's few people that actually want to hurt you or do something wrong to you. Very, very few people are actually trying to do anything bad to you. Most people are just having bad days or having a bad life is what that is. Right. And they're just trying their hardest. And I think that's ultimately it, is that, life is rough and you can be having a bad time. And so I think you make it worse if you start reacting to, the negative stuff that people do to you. People aren't trying to be rude to you. They're not trying to be mean to you. They're just trying their best and they're trying to cope. And sometimes they step on your toes. And I think if you can just assume that they're just trying to get through. And I think it makes it easier to get through everything. Because if you go through life getting angry at everything, it's gonna be really rough on you. So, yeah.
But
I think that's what I tell them.
But do you have any life lessons that go against conventional wisdom?
Oh yeah, I do. I don't know if you have time to do this, but you got 6 more minutes. I've actually wondered, the whole thing about like hard work and the whole meritocracy thing, but more just hard work. The idea that hard work well, I'll be honest, the stuff that I've worked hardest on has brought me the least amount of finance or success in my life. The success that I've had I've just fallen into it. So using that logic, don't work hard, just hang around, wait for the phone to ring, and stuff will happen for you. That's what my life has taught me. Like when I worked for years and years and years trying to write, and you finally get a book out there, and you bring in $20. and it's not like it's like knocking the doors off of critical acclaim or anything like that. And you're kind of like, why don't you just go back to hosting, where Ange calls you up randomly and goes, hey, listen, I heard of you. Do you want to go do some work? All right. Sure, that's better. I didn't try to get that. I did it. Yeah. No, she didn't read a book. She's like, I just saw a picture of you. I thought, this guy might be a nice guy to work with.
Yeah, the men's health dude. Let's get the men's health dude.
Let's get that guy. Oh, he doesn't have his abs? No. Let's get rid of him. Yeah. That's not a lesson I would teach anybody. I think I've been very lucky in life, but there is a part of me that I'm like, it is kind of like, the harder I've worked at stuff, the harder I try at stuff, the less it seems to work out. And the more if I just kind of hang around, something happens. But
maybe the hard work pays off in other areas, because if you didn't work hard on your book or something else, then you probably wouldn't have gotten the breaks that you got. Maybe it's one way to see it.
Possibly. I mean, yeah, everything's interconnected. Yeah, I guess on some level, but yeah, I don't know.
And
There's another binary way to look at it and be like, don't work hard, kids. Just wait.
I think I wouldn't quite put it in such extreme terms, but I think there is a thing about don't overthink. Don't overthink your career. Everyone's like, oh, you don't have a plan yet? Like, you're 23 and you don't have a hashtag purpose and things like that. And I think it's really bad advice to go, follow your bliss, follow your purpose can be really bad advice for some people. I look at Dear Future Grandkids, what we're doing right here. It's such a perfect example of, in a way, what you said. We have no time. We're so busy. And then Jen called us up and said, let's do this show. We brainstormed a couple of ideas, but we really didn't have much time to do much more than brainstorm like this one idea, which was Dear Future Grandkids, what we would ask interesting people, what they would say to their future grandkids. We didn't, normally would sit around, have, we come from production backgrounds, would sit around, have script meetings, talk about our guest list, blah, blah, blah. Percy just goes, let's go live on Saturday. And we're like, what? And then he wrote, I think we wrote a script in 20 minutes. Percy did the opening titles on Keynote, by the way. He didn't do it in After Effects or anything, on Keynote, midnight before we were going live. Christian, who's behind the scenes pressing the buttons, Christian did a logo, which has remained our logo to this day. And I said, let's define who we want as our guests. I want really interesting, fascinating people. And Percy goes, who are you trying to kid? Let's phone up anyone that we know. And if they say yes, we're featuring them.
That's how I got on the show. Now I know the real story for why I got called.
Now you know the casting brief.
Right.
Go down to J.
But I have to say, and every time Saturday rolls around, and we are so busy, we've just got so much to do, and we're barely putting stuff together. I'm like, the lighting's not right, and our microphone, I can hear audio bleed from the microphone. Jen, where's your headphones? Blah blah blah. And every time I feel we just didn't have enough time to prep, and the next episode we'll do it properly, and look at us trying to do things properly, and we have proper post-mortems and things like that. And then Saturday rolls around, we're like, oh, sorry, no time. I'm getting my hair done, guys. If I make it on time, great. If I don't, fine. You just keep going. But Dear Future Grandkids, to your point, has been one of the best creative projects ever, and we've spent no time on it. It doesn't get edited. We keep saying we'll edit the show afterwards. Like we'll record 60, we'll cut it to a take 25, 25, right? We've never touched it. We're like, forget that. Who's going to edit? That's way too much work. The podcast is just the audio version of the, and it doesn't always make sense because it's like, don't get two meaningful objects. Hello, you can't see them in the podcast. But we've had really amazing reception from viewers, from people in the industry that we hang out with, from corporate clients of mine. It's been absolutely fantastic, really, truly fantastic. And the connections that we've made, like hanging out with you, hearing. It's just been amazing. It's really brilliant. Found out so much stuff about you that I never knew, that if we'd just hung out and caught up for a coffee in Singapore, we just I wouldn't know any of this stuff.
I would have told you.
It's just
so there it is.
So I kind of agree.
Don't
the
try
moral
too
of the
hard,
story.
Kids.
Yeah, kids. Forget that work ethic.
Yeah.
And there's
you're right. I took it to extreme, but you're right. Sorry, Percy, go ahead.
No, it's just there's a degree of going with the flow in it, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I've got this philosophy now where I know that if I'm trying way too hard and it's becoming way too difficult, then maybe it's a sign that it's not meant to be. So I learned to pivot also. Like, okay, this is proving more difficult than I thought it would be. Maybe I should sit back and take a look. Maybe there's something else I could use my energy and my time with. And it's proving right. It's actually proving right.
Which is like kind of the opposite of what everyone says, right? Like when it gets hardest, that's when you're close to the breakthrough. You know what I mean? Like that whole like kind of it's kind of goes against that conventional wisdom, right? It's like, well, maybe it is too hard. Do
That's
something
me and working
else.
out. That's me and working out.
Yeah, exactly.
Breakthrough? What? But breakthrough. Stop it.
It's fine. That's why I got my yellow belt in karate, and then I just quit. No, but again, it's like you said, it doesn't apply to everything, but no, I see your point, right? And it's true. Don't overthink. Yeah, sometimes you overthink stuff. Overthink it into the ground, and then it just doesn't happen. Like it's just better just to just do it. Just do it and let it flow. And if it works, it works. You know?
Yeah, Go ahead, Perci.
Sorry. No, I was just gonna ask. I think it our next question is really about stuff that you could do over in your life. I mean, I know that you've got this philosophy now, but is there any part of your life that you would relive and do differently?
I wish I had modeled for so long. even though I did, I made good money doing it. But I think I did it for much too long, and I don't think I was moving forward. I can see with the acting, and I really enjoy the acting, and I feel like I've learned a lot. I've actually improved quite a lot. I wish I was doing this 15 years ago. Like I see some of the younger actors on the show, and I see where they are and how they are with scenes, and how they are with feedback, and how willing they are to try different things. And I think I wish I was like them. Like I wish I was 28 and figuring this out, not 43. You know what I mean? So in that sense, I wish I had kind of like found that a little earlier in life. I feel like it's a fun thing to work on. I feel like I enjoy it. I feel like I'm okay at it. So I wish I figured that out a little earlier and not spent so many years drinking free alcohol in the modeling weeds, the fashion weeds.
Dragon Eye.
Oh yeah, Dragon Eye. You didn't read my book. Dragon Eye was like a soup kitchen for models. We didn't have money for food, so we had to go to Dragon Eye every night and eat. Eat the free food there. Yeah.
No, but it seems
So
like
you had to
a
party.
It seemed like life, though. Has life turned out the way you expected it?
No, not at all. I never thought I'd be living in Singapore, married to a Romanian. I mean, if you talk about, teenage me, if you told teenage me this stuff, I'm sure that Will Wheaton dude you showed a picture of with his braces, his brace would fall off if you told him where you were living now. He'd be like, what? What happened? Romanian? Oh my gosh. And the 90s version of Romanians was like the Romanian wrestling team. So I think she's like this giant hulking woman. So I think for sure my teenage self would have been like, oh my God. In Singapore, my teenage self would have been like, why am I living in China now? Like, I'm sure I had no idea where Singapore was. My stupid teenage self. But I don't think, does life ever turn out the way you expect? I don't think so. Like, I don't think it ever does. Anytime you said, you look ahead and you go, okay, I'm going to do this and this is how it's going to work out. Like, does it ever play out like that? It never does. Right? Like sometimes I like to imagine the way I can fail, because actually by predicting my failure, I'm a failure at predicting. So then I predict, like, I don't fail. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you try to predict the way you can fail, I rarely can see things. I rarely can predict properly. So sometimes I feel confident saying, oh, I'll fail at this because of this. And then I won't fail for that reason. Like I'll fail for some other reason, but not that reason.
So basically it's win-win. It's win-win if you predict how you will fail.
You can't predict, you can't predict the future. You can't predict the future. So try to predict it. And just by the very act of trying to predict it, you probably will predict it wrong. And then it makes you feel better. Yeah. My failure didn't come true the way I thought it would.
It was way more humiliating.
That's usually the case. It usually is way more humiliating. But I try not to think about that either. Try to move on.
So, Jason, what movies or TV shows do you think are must-sees for your future grandkids?
I just can't. I can't wait to watch. I don't plug the MCU. I can't wait to watch the MCU with my son. I feel like those are great films. I love those films. They're fun films. And from a writing perspective, you can say whatever you want. They're popcorn films, but they've got a genre that it's just the same formula over and over again, but they manage to make it fresh and new all the time, which I think is incredible. I think just watching it and really trying to dissect what they do with the whole formula, I think is it's great. They're like a masterclass on taking cliche and turning it on their head. So I think from that perspective, I love those. But I mean, meaningful films that I would want my kids to watch. I don't know. I mean, I've always loved Unforgiven, but that's kind of like a hard revenge story. I'm sure. And now we try to watch it from that slow moving. I think it's so slow moving for modern audiences now. My wife gets like 4.5 minutes into it and then she passes out. So I'd imagine my son will get like the opening credits will roll. They'll start playing the music. And my son will just leave. Probably they'll probably just be like, nothing's happening. No one's getting shot. I don't know. I'm not gonna watch this.
It was slow at the time, even when at the time it came out. Everyone said
it was a slow burn. Yeah,
it's a slow classic.
Yeah. So now it's like just molasses. It's like pouring molasses down a window screen and watching it. Like, but I love.
Are there any books? Are there any books that would be a must-read for your future grandkids?
Actually, I just read a book. Oh man, it's a kid's book. I gotta think of the title of it. The Adventure of. It's basically about a porcelain rabbit. Let me look this up quickly so I can. It's a great book, and it's a kid's book actually. My friend read it, and she said, she said, "Oh, it's really great." And it's
is it new or old?
The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. Yeah, it's a new book. The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. And so she was really taken aback by this book, and I didn't ask her for it. She just gave it to me. She said, "Do just read it." And I was like, "No, I'm not gonna read this kid's book." And then I just opened it up, and I guess it appealed to that quick-paced nature of everything now because it's a kid's book, so it just moves. It just moves like this, and it's written super simply. So like I read it in 2 hours. Like I read it like on my commute to work. You know what I mean? And it was just done. But it was such a nice book, and it's totally a story. It's like one of those books that like you're like, oh, it's so simple. I wish I had written it. And it's one of those stories that's like, it's just a story of this porcelain rabbit who just gets. It's his journey of like just him just basically being passed on from person to person, and all these people have these terrible hardships in life. You know what I mean? But the porcelain rabbit doesn't. He just kind of takes it at face value and continues on, kind of learning these journeys and missing these people that he's loved and that have loved him. And he eventually makes it back to. Well, I won't spoil it. He eventually goes on this journey and comes full circle type thing. But it's one of those stories where the world is like almost oppressingly harsh, but because the character doesn't really know it, just kind of just happily going through the motions. And so I think that's kind of even sadder sometimes is when somebody's just like, well, it's how it is, and you just keep going. I guess like Room is like that, the book Room, where the little boy. It's a great book.
It rips your heart out because it's written from the 5-year-old boy's point of view.
Yeah, and the little boy doesn't realize that he's living in this like he's a captive, right? Mm-hmm. But he loves Room. He loves the room that he lives in, and that's exactly it, right? Is that you got this harsh world that's beating everyone down, but the character doesn't really recognize that. Just like, well, this is how it is, and this is good. This is Fork. Fork is my friend, and I loved Room. Room was a good book too. But I don't know. It's kind of a harrowing book. I don't know that I would want my son to read it. I think the Miraculous Journey of Adventure Tulane would be a fun book for my boy to read. I think I'll definitely read that to him when he's old enough to comprehend it.
And I'm absolutely going to check it out because that sounds like a great book. Yeah.
Yeah, do it. It's a very nice book.
And are there any objects or gadgets that you definitely want to leave for your future grandkids as well?
Objects or gadgets? I'm pretty sure all our objects or gadgets will be obsolete by that point. My son will be like, what is this? What is this? Smartphone garbage. Why I gotta need my smart lens? He just put it in his eye. He'll call everybody. And augmented reality, everything. I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. There's not really any objects or gadgets that I don't really have a lot of sentimental value towards. Like, I don't know. like a watch or something I would hand down to him or anything like that.
You don't have sentimental
really.
value towards a clock on your wall that might
Yeah,
have animals on it?
Family heirloom? No.
What if that clock becomes like the symbol of his childhood for him? Like, what if for him he's like that's the one thing he remembers is that clock, and then he's gonna see it, like he's gonna find it in a box like 20 years later and be like, oh my god, the clock, I remember that. And then he's gonna look this up and he's gonna be like, Ange was so mean about that. You're gonna get a knock on your door from my 25-year-old son, reliving his life, and he's gonna be
You
like,
were being
why?
unfair.
Yeah.
Why were you so mean about that?
The best clock ever. This clock was everything to me. This clock and that painting, that dog poo painting,
Dog pool.
everything
Dog
to
pool.
me.
I thought the Santa poodle was a little more ridiculous. Why is the dog painted as Santa? It doesn't make any sense. But our friend painted that. I didn't paint that. I don't know why he painted that. But
It's great. I love it.
Jason, thank you so much for today. I mean, for sharing with us your corner of shame, your paintings. We got to meet your wife and your son. And more importantly as well, thank you for building this video time capsule. So as we close the show and you're closing the lid, you get to leave a message. What do you want to say to your future grandkids?
oh man, okay. I know you prepared me for this. I didn't prepare for it. Well, future grandkids. I hope we've left you a decent world. I hope it isn't. I hope you're not living in some sort of post-apocalyptic structure. You're not watching this on some like antiquated technology now because everything has been destroyed. I hope that the world is okay, I suppose is what I'm saying. I hope things are still stable. I guess the only message is, it's what I've learned from what we've done today is just, don't force anything. Don't try too hard. Sometimes some things aren't going to work out. That's okay. Just go with the flow. Unless it's the apocalypse. Then you need to struggle against the flow a little bit.
Then you need to run like the wind.
then yeah. If the climate storm is coming, then you don't go with the flow. You need to hide in a basement somewhere, preferably a military bunker. But I hope that's not the world we've left you. I really hope it's not. But yeah, that's. I'm sure I'll think of something better if I actually have grandkids. But at this point, that's what I got.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for being our guest today. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had fun. Yeah, I did. It was good.
We learned so much from you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to teach. With everything else.
Yes. We will have a proper debrief at the end of the show for everybody who kind of misunderstood. Not working hard.
A roll of disclaimers.
No, but actually, I loved how you spoke your mind because it's actually true. Sometimes it's just we get lost in the romanticism of it. Even when you talked about being a dad, because you're the first person I think that I spoke to as a dad who candidly talked about it wasn't really great at the start.
No. I feel like that's something people should talk about more because I think like I know I felt really weird about it, and I was looking stuff up on the internet, and I started reading. I was like, oh no, it's something that happens. It's not. Yeah. It's not abnormal. I'm not a psychopath. I think.
Yeah. I think people feel guilty about that, but
Yeah, for sure.
There are really rough nights. There are really times when you go, what
really
have we
rough
done?
months, really rough weeks.
Really rough weeks. Yeah. So thank you for that. Thank you for being.
No worries.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thanks
for having me, guys. It's good.
Yeah, and to all our lovely viewers, thank you very much for joining us today. We didn't have time. Jason was so engaging, I didn't have time to look through the comments.
Oh, sorry. Engaging is a euphemism for talk too much.
And
we're hiding the fact there were no comments today.
And Jason, your episode 8, we said all along we would only do 8 as an experiment, and then we would see. And you have brought this season to a close. I think we finished strong. We finished on a high. So Jien, Perci, what do you think? Are we carrying on after 8, or did Jason kill it for us?
It ends here. It ends here with me.
Have we reached our peak?
Unfortunately, I just don't know Jason that well yet. But when you said, you brought this season, I was about to say to a grinding halt.
To the elevator shaft of Facebook.
The elevator shaft
It's over now.
Of a series. No, but you see, I really genuinely had fun. I mean, you're right. Every Saturday, it's all every week that leads up to a Saturday, we're always going like, oh, we don't have enough time to prepare for the next show. We don't have a guest yet, or you hear it from me. I don't have time to join the pre-interview or whatever. But somehow, when we are here, it's just a really lovely experience. I mean, meeting Jason for the first time, because you guys know him. I'm just fascinated by him. He is Batman.
I wish.
There you go. No, but any opportunity to meet people is a great opportunity, but let alone something like this. So I'm game.
And for me, I get to spend Saturdays with the both of you, and then we created the show, and then meeting all our guests and learning lessons from them as well, and meeting people like Jason. So I don't know. We said 8 episodes. We've done it. We got here, and if we're still enjoying it, why not? Maybe take a break and come back with season 2. Or if everything fails, we had a good run going until we put Jason on the show. We had a good thing
Nobody
going.
wants to follow me.
Tough shoot.
You guys should keep going. I feel like it's pretty loose. No, you guys are pretty loose, pretty chilled out. You just talk for an hour. I mean, why not? I don't know, isn't it? Seems like it's like no big stress for you guys, and you just keep putting it out. You guys are having fun. But hopefully the content is interesting for people to watch. I think if you just do it regularly, you find your niche.
Well, I mean, we've had really, really genuinely surprisingly good feedback. I suppose one of the things is if your expectations are so low that any feedback that you remotely get is amazing. So we've been really delighted. It's true. I personally was shaking before the first 3 or 4 episodes. I was physically shaking with nerves.
Really?
Yeah. And I've been in media for so long, right? But I've always been behind the camera. So I was terrified, genuinely scared. I didn't sleep well even the night before. And now I just turn up late, like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, I'm going to be late. Getting my hair done. See you live. So you're right. You're right that I think with everything at first, it's terrifying, especially for me. And again, it's the overthinking side. And like you, for me, live, Facebook, YouTube, utter humiliation could ensue is the worst case scenario. So my planning for failure is, oh my goodness, something really terrible. I'm going to say something so bad on air that is just going to ruin my whole career. So there's that. But then there was a point, I think it was like Ep 6, there was a point where, obviously we thought about some of the questions in advance, and then the guest says the answer, and then we look down and we go, next question, because we don't know what to say. And there was a point, I think it was episode 6, where we said an answer that was off the cuff, and we didn't just suddenly go to the next question. I'm like, man, we're like Oprah. That was slick, guys. Like afterwards, we're like, did you see that? I went off the cuff. Did you see that, guys? there was just this point where I was just like, that almost sounded like a natural conversation.
Well, that's what I mean. I felt like we were just having a natural conversation. I guess it was more one-sided because I was kind of dominating it. But I think it's a natural conversation, and I think if that's what you guys are doing. I mean, mission accomplished, success. And if as long as you're still learning stuff from it, as a presenter and stuff for yourself and then for you guys, I think there's no reason not to continue. I don't know. I mean, from my personal feeling.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
it's really, it's genuinely lovely to hear the feedback. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Well, we've got a ringing endorsement from Jason, but unfortunately, all good things will come to an end. But is this just the end for now? Is this the end of season 1? Will we be back with season 2? We will find out. So this has been Dear Future Grandkids, where we look at the past to give us lessons for the future. I've been Jien. That's Ange. That's Perci. That's our wonderful guest, Jason Godfrey. And we normally wave bye-bye. So maybe it's the end of season 1. So Jason, could you do us the honors and teach us how to model wave out? How do you do that? I mean,
Like, what's the
there-
cool?
All right, no, there's no model way. We just go. We just do this.
oh,
Oh,
You know what?
cool.
I've got
Alright.
something more. I've got something more interesting, Jen.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Jason is used to soap operas, and I've done soap operas. And
Yes.
this is a season ender, so it's always a cliffhanger, right?
Yeah.
So, Jason, what is your cliffhanger ending look?
My cliffhanger ending look?
Like,
Yeah.
you
I don't
know,
know. You have
I'm
to
about
be
to
like-
tell
it
you a
has to be
secret,
the-
but I can't tell you.
Yeah. Oh, you're about to tell me a secret, but you can't tell me?
Yeah.
And then we
Okay,
cut to the.
so that'd be
we have
like-
to cut to season
what-
end.
Yeah. So then it'd be like, but you have to tell me that. What?
So that's how we end the show. We do a soap opera ending pose. Okay, so
Yeah.
if we can
All
see
of
the
us.
season end,
All of
and-
us.
So director,
Yeah.
comes
direct,
in.
direct us. Okay, give us a
So-
countdown. We'll do it.
will there be a season 2? We will find out. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and pose.
You-
End.